Lock and Key may just well be the best family-friendly horror series on any streaming platform. Netflix has really been amping up their YA family-friendly fare recently, especially with shows like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and also things like Lost in Space. They really see this niche market. Lock and Key is the best of the bunch by far, and I say that mostly due to the writing. So Lock and Key originally comes from a comic book written by Joe Hill, who's the son of Stephen King, and by artist Gabriel Rodriguez. These two have created a very interesting no superhero comic. The story is about a family who the father was murdered in front of most of them, and they move from, I think it was Seattle, all the way back to a town in Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, they have their family estate, and this place is called Key House. Key House has been the scene of a lot of, shall we say, historical events, and not all of them good. There's a story of three teenagers dying something like 20 years before this series began, and a story of another one who went inside the house and went insane and is an insane asylum. We have Nina, the mom, who is the one who wants to take them to Massachusetts away from their home in order to sort of reconnect or learn more about her recently deceased husband. You have Tyler, who's a hockey playing jock in high school. You have Kinsey, who's the middle sister. She's probably like a sophomore-ish in high school. And then you have the youngest son, Bodhi, who's probably grade school, junior high, somewhere around there. The main thrust of the story takes place with these kids. It starts with Bodhi. He kind of hears this whispering sound, and he goes and he finds a key. And he figures out that it's a magic key. And this key is able to, when you put it into a door, it's able to open a doorway to any other door that you've seen before. And this starts it off. Now, of course, as all Massachusetts houses have, there is a demon living in the house as well. You know, everybody's got those. And unfortunately, Bodhi is tricked by the demon into giving her the key, thereby releasing her from the well. And she wants more keys. We don't know at first what's going on, but we're soon going to find out. Bodhi starts hearing more whispers and starts to find other keys. He then tells his brother and sister, and they get in on it, and they can start hearing the keys. The interesting thing is that the mother, Nina, she's shown this magic a couple of times in the series, and each time she forgets. We also find with an uncle that adults, for whatever reason, can't remember. Now, a lot of this is really great, and there are several reasons for it. There are things like the kids have a sort of a PTSD because a guy named Sam Lester, who was a classmate of Tyler's, is the one who actually killed their father, shot their father. Tyler has a lot of regrets because he jokingly had said to Sam earlier when they were still friends that, oh, if you kill your father, kill mine too. And he blamed himself to the time when, of course, Sam Lester comes back, because of course it was the demon trying to find their father, because their father also knew about the keys. Joe Hill's writing is pretty realistic for a fantastical series like this. And what I mean by that is the characters act like kids would at their age. So none of them are particularly bright. But the bad guy is quite brilliant. It's not poor writing. They miss a lot of things. They sort of abuse these keys for their own pleasure. Kinsey uses a key that allows her to go into her head, and she kills the manifestation of her fear, or she takes it out of her head. Now, this sort of makes her more popular, more outgoing, but we see later that it also leads to her making a ton of bad decisions, because fear would normally make you say, wait, maybe that's not a good idea. Even to the point where in the last episode, there's two boys that she likes, and she says, hey, how about if I just date you both? That's a non-starter for most people. And another issue is they find this key that has a music box where if someone hears the music, they have to do whatever you tell them to do. So do they use that box to defeat the demon that's trying to get the other keys? No. What does Kinsey use it for? She uses it to torture one of her rivals at school. So the characters definitely have children's mentality. We also see it with Bodhi. The manifestation of his joy is him in a astronaut suit jumping around on a trampoline. He tries to use kind of like a plastic lightsaber type thing as a weapon, which actually comes out useful. Another reason the series is so great is everything pays off. Things that characters say in episode 1 will pay off either that episode or a few episodes later. Throughout the whole series, things add up. This is one thing that I really, really hate in other shows is things pop out of nowhere. You know, why does this character do that? Where did he get that thing? Locke and Key explains it all. Another great feature is the bad guy, Dodge. Now, Dodge is, well, we don't really know what she is, but we'll go with Demon. Dodge comes and acts like a true villain. For whatever reason, the Locke kids have to willingly give her keys. She can't just take them from them. But she'll kill anyone else who happens to have one. She also tortures people. She threatens people. And this is fantastic. This is how a real villain would act. Now, we don't really know her motivation. We know that there's some kind of a magical door that she came through, but she's trying to either get back or get other beings like her from behind that door. We don't know. Hopefully season 2 will go into more detail. Now, that's not to say everything in the show is fantastic. There are a few things that are a little Episode 1 is really slow. If you're going to try to watch this series, trust me, give yourself a 2-episode limit before you decide to turn it off. By the end of episode 1, they sort of get to things, but it's really episode 2 where things pick up. Like I said, the kids are dumb, sometimes frustratingly dumb. There's a door that kind of allows your spirit or your soul to leave its body, and it can fly around the grounds of the house, and there's a cemetery, and it can see ghosts there. Well, Bodhi goes and he finds their great something grandfather Chamberlain, and he's just like, well, hey, great grandfather, what's up? And the great grandfather's like, oh, hey, nothing, your dad and his brother used to come here. And Bodhi's like, okay, cool, peace out. They never thought to go back and ask him what's up with the Dodge, what's up with the house, what's up with the keys. It seems like they're really missing out on a lot. In addition to the poor planning with the keys, Bodhi is kind of disappointing as the series goes along. Now, in the beginning, he's the youngest kid, and we sort of view this house through his eyes, and we get to pick up and understand things just like he does. But by the middle of the series, they kind of run out of things for him to do. He's not in school yet, so he doesn't really have friends. He just has a friend with character Ellie, who ends up who knows about the keys for some reason. We don't know why. And she was friends with the kid's father. But she has we'll say, autistic son that she's helping to take care of. And Bodhi kind of hangs out with him, which is a little bit weird that they both like 1960s full-size G.I. Joe action figures. But that's kind of all he does. It's a little bit disappointing. We sort of need to have the older two children do things because it makes more sense that teenagers would be allowed out of the house, especially at night, that they could drive, etc., etc. Bodhi is kind of locked into the house finding keys. It does get quite annoying that Tyler and Kinsey are always telling him, no, don't do this, don't use the keys because we want to protect you. Like, come on, man, you got to have the guy in there. At some point, he found the keys. So that's sort of a down spot. So overall, this is a great series. Highly recommended. It has some nice supernatural elements. It's not, shall we say, as blatant as like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is pretty much, satanic, this and that, and really does have what a lot of people would consider evil. Locke and Key is in some ways more innocent and yet insidious than Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Highly recommended. Give it at least a 2-episode minimum watch, and I think you'll quite enjoy it. I can't wait for the next season. It hasn't been announced yet, but I got a feeling it'll be around in about a year. So tell me, did you like this video? Did you watch Locke and Key? What do you think about it? If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We'll be talking about more shows soon.